St. Patrick's Day, metal faithful. Yeah. Get out your Guinness. Get out your whiskey in the jarro. Kiss me, I'm Irish tonight. We're all Irish tonight because it's St. Patrick's Day, and the Guinness is flowing, and the Irish whiskey is pouring, and we're all having a grand old time. This is the Metal Hammer of Doom St. Patrick's Day edition. Oh boy, and have we got a fun one tonight. I searched high and... First of all, I'm the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Rattledge, but tonight I'm Irish. That's what I'm doing. I've got the t-shirt and everything. I searched high and low to do something fun for St. Patrick's Day, since there wasn't a lot of good albums to review this week. We're like, hey, let's do something fun. You know, we've done July 4th shows. We went back and we did Kid Rock, because what's more American than Kid Rock? We've done Christmas shows. We've done a bunch of those. We do one almost every year. This is our first St. Patrick's Day show, our first one that we've done on St. Patrick's Day, and I wanted to do something to celebrate the holiday. So I searched high and low, as I said before, and I found a band that has been around since 1990. They are a German band called Fiddler's Green, and they play Irish folk music. They actually refer to themselves as Irish Speedfolk, folk rock, or folk punk. How about that, huh? Fiddler's Green, formed in 1990. Their first concert under the name of Fiddler's Green was at the Newcomer Festival in Erlangen in November of 1990. Their debut album, entitled Fiddler's Green, was released in 92 and featured both live and studio tracks, some traditional, some original material. It was released on their own label, Def Shepherd Recordings. The band has been signed to a major label, but chose to go back to being independent. The band members refer to their music as Irish Speedfolk as opposed to folk rock or Irish folk. They released an album in 2020, which is the one we're going to review tonight, a celebration of their 30 years of being a band together. 3 cheers for 30 years, as I said, which came out last year, and it's a covers album of old traditional Irish bar songs. So that sounds fun, right, Jesse? Jesse Starcher's with me tonight. Jesse, kiss me, I'm Irish. Come here, I'll kiss you because you're Irish.
Hey, I am Irish, as a matter of fact. I got a little Irish in me.
That's what she said.
Got a little Irish in my pants. So, yeah, I come from the O'Callaghan's, by the way. That's
really?
Yeah, I guess it's on my mom's side, I believe, that got a lot of Irish there. So when my grandmother got married, she obviously her maiden name was O'Callaghan. So, yeah, man, happy St. Patrick's Day. Would you like to know a little bit about St. Patrick's Day? I went to history.com and I just pulled up a couple facts. You ready? I'll lay one on you. You ready?
Hit it.
Did you know the color traditionally associated with St. Patrick was blue, not green?
Interesting.
What
You
do you think of
wouldn't
that?
know that by any place celebrating St. Patrick's Day tonight.
That is correct. Most likely, they don't explain it, but I'm sure that, the English bastardized it somehow and changed it to green. I'm sure we're at fault for something we misconstrued. But yeah, they have a little thing about Irish music here as well on history.com. I want to just, quickly kind of go through it. It says music is often associated with St. Patrick's Day, hence why we're doing this today, and Irish culture in general. From ancient days of the Celts, music has always been an important part of Irish life. The Celts had an oral culture where religion, legend, and history were passed from one generation to the next by way of stories and songs. And let me tell you, Mark, there is no better place to get some stories and songs than a pub.
Ain't that the truth? So, I'll tell you a little bit more about this album, and then we'll get into it here. The anniversary album, 3 Cheers for 30 Years, contains 11 of the most traditional pieces of Irish folk in the typical fiddler's garb, in the sound that made the band known beyond the borders of Germany, and which they themselves refer to as the aforementioned Irish Speedfolk. Maybe one or the other number has gathered a bit of dust over the years. Immortal classics such as Whiskey in the Jar, which Metallica had also did a pretty well-known cover of, The Wild Rover, or Auld Lang Syne, which everyone sings on New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve, get a fresh cell treatment from Fiddler's Green. So I'm really excited about this. This is a little off the beaten path for us, but shit, man. If we're not doing something off the beaten path, we're not doing anything at all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm excited too, man. A little bit of Irish roots. Get to hear it in my Metal Hammer of Doom. I like it.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. Let's go ahead and play the first 3 tracks off of here. Again, these are all traditional Irish bar covers, so they should sound fairly familiar to you. We got Whiskey in the Jar, Auld Lang Syne, and The Galloway Girl.
And then fuse my rapier, Saint stand and deliver, the devil he may take you. I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. Put it in my pocket and I took it home to Molly. She swore that she'd love me, no never would she leave me. But the devil take that woman for you know she chicked me easy. Push your ring, never do, never da. Wait for the daddy-o, wait for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. Push your ring, never do, never da. Wait for the daddy-o, wait for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot of the days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness, yeah, for the days of Auld Lang Syne. And surely you'll buy your pint cup, and surely I'll buy mine. We'll take a cup of kindness, yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. We'll take a cup of kindness, yet for the days of Auld Lang Syne.
Well, I took a stroll down the old long walk on the day I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day. And I ask you, friend, what's a fellow to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And if you're right then, I'll be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill Prom with the Galway girl.
So I know we've talked about some of the folk metal that we've done in the past, which just reminds me of like Hobbits moshing.
Yes.
This is the ultimate Hobbits moshing album.
Oh yeah, dude. You throw this up there. I mean, these hairy feet are going to catch some faces.
I'll tell you, Auld Lang Syne, as punk rocky as that was, maybe wanted to like gather a group of like soccer hooligans and go trash a bar.
It's so weird that I heard that song, and of course, immediately I'm like, oh, this is strange pick. But I understand that we're obviously going for what is traditional here.
Right.
And, you know, as, you know, people in the United States, it's usually the only time I'm going to hear that is during the New Year. So it's, you know, yeah, it's still a great rendition of it. Whiskey in the Jar, just like you said, the first time I ever heard that song was when it was done by Metallica. And I love the story that's being told in that song. It's interesting. It's about this guy who obviously gets double crossed, and I think the girl that he was interested in is part of the double cross as well. Love the story, and just like I said, these songs are stories in themselves. Galway Girl, by the way, I heard that song. Fiddler's Green's rendition of it is fantastic. The first time I had heard it, my daughter played it.
Really?
Speaking again, to go flashback to last week, my daughter had played it. Ed Sheeran does a cover of that song.
Oh, okay.
And
Interesting.
according to the Wikipedia here, Galway Girl was written by Steve Earle and recorded with Irish musician, I say that 3 times fast, Irish musician Sharon Shannon. Again, I like what Fiddler's Green is doing with these songs. I really like it a lot. We got that, just like you said, we got that flash of punk and some metal in there, and it sounds really good. And when it's Irish jig or, just like you said, Hobbit moshing, it speeds it up and it makes it fun. There is a party going on, sir.
Absolutely. All right, let's hear the next 3 songs here. We've got All for Me Grog. So good. All for Me Grog, Holloway Joe, and the Wild Rover.
Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly jolly grog, all gone for beer and tobacco. For I spend all me tin with the ladies drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander. Where are me boots, me noggin boots? They're all gone for beer and tobacco. For the heels they are worn out, and the toes are kicked about, and the toes are looking out for better weather. Well, it's all for me grog, jolly jolly grog, all gone for beer and tobacco. For I spend all my gin with the ladies drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander. Where when I was a little boy, well, so my mother told me, way Holloway, will Holloway Joe, that if I didn't kiss the girls, my lips would all grow moldy. Way Holloway, will Holloway Joe. King Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Way Holloway, will Holloway Joe. And then he got his head cut off, it spoiled his constitution. Way Holloway, will Holloway Joe. Well, cook is in the galley, making love so handily. Way Holloway, will Holloway Joe. And the captain's in his cabin, drinking wine and brandy. Way Holloway, will Holloway Joe.
I've been a white rover for many's the year,
And I spent all my money on whiskey and beer.
but now I'm returning with golden great sword.
And I never will play the Wild Rover no more.
Went into a nail house I used to frequent,
And I told that landlady my money was spent.
I asked her for credit, she answered me nay.
Such a custom as yours I can have every day.
And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no more. I then took from me pocket 10 sovereigns bright,
And the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight.
she says I have whiskey and wine's of the best.
And the words that she told me were only in jest.
I go home to me parents, confess what I've done.
And I laughed on the pardon their prodigal son.
And when they caressed me as sometimes before,
I never would play the Wild Rover no more.
and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no more.
That Wild Rover song is everything I love about drinking in a bar.
Everybody's joining in.
I have been to quite a few like piano bars in my time, and sing along type bars, and you know, like you have that punk rock bit, which makes me want to like skank in the mosh pit with a pint of Guinness in my hand, just kicking, you know, just kicking and running, and then it slows down, and I just, you know, and then I want to grab my best friend, and I want to sway, and I want to slosh beer everywhere, and I want to sing off key. Ugh, so good.
I hear you, man. Yeah, Wild Rover is a lot of fun. Holloway Joe stuck out to me. I really think that some of the most fun on this album is how that song starts out. All of a sudden it sounds like it's Middle Eastern, and then we get the mouth harp in there where you I mean, it was great. I do want to talk about All For Me Grog and Irish Stereotypes.
Tall for me beer and tobacco.
It's ironically an upbeat Irish song about spending all their money on beer and tobacco when they should have spent that money on better things. And it's so upbeat. You're like, this could be. Listen, if somebody from the South, the Southern United States, a country singer had a hold of that song, trust me, it would have came across with
a whole lot different.
With so much more melancholy attached to it. But All For Me Grog, you're just looking at it and you're like, I hope I can have some potatoes tonight, and you know, cabbage and corned beef. Are
you enjoying this album so far, Jesse?
Dude, I love this album. This album's really fun.
Well, you know what you should do. I could see playing this like every St. Patrick's Day. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Like this has to
it
go
goes
into
in the rotation.
Yes, in the rotation. You know what you can do? If you sign up for a free 30 days of Amazon Music, you can listen to this album all you want. You can stream it nonstop. It's unlimited.
You don't have to stop at Fiddler's Green with Amazon Unlimited. I guarantee you're going to find plenty of Irish bands just waiting to be played. Over 70 million songs over there.
Yes, sir. And, you know, they have like 17 albums, including 3 Cheers for 30 Years. They have so many albums, Fiddler's Green does, and they're all there for you, waiting for you to stream on AmazonMusic.com. So what you should do to get your free 30 days of Amazon Music is go to our link at getamazonmusic.com/W2M Network. That's getamazonmusic.com/W2M Network. And, you know, check it out, man. I mean, once you have that service and you're paying your monthly fee for Amazon Music and you have access to all the world's music, just go crazy. Go, you know, do like I do. Do like Mark Radulich does. And go explore and find. Like, I would have never found Fiddler's Green had I not done an exhaustive search of what's Irish and metal that I could do on the Metal Hammer of Doom. And I somehow fell into this one.
Great stuff.
There are a handful of Irish death metal bands, but I didn't want to do that. I'm much happier doing Fiddler's Green.
Yeah, I can understand what they're saying. Yeah. That's good.
Yes, sir. Anything else about All For Me Grog, Holloway Joe, and the Wild Rover?
3 great songs, as a matter of fact.
Fantastic.
I like that set of 3.
So we'll go ahead and move on here to the next 3. We got Wild Mountain Time, The Drunken Sailor, and 7 Drunken Nights.
Oh, the summertime has come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the purple heather. Will he go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to big wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will he go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower near yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will he go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to big wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming
sailor.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Early in the morning.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Take him and shake him and try to wake him.
Take him and shake him and try to wake him.
Take him and shake him and try to wake him early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises.
Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Early in the morning.
Oh, as I went home on Monday night, drunk as drunk could be, I saw a horse outside the door where my old horse should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me who owns that horse outside the door where my old horse should be? Are you junkie, silly old fool, still you cannot see? That's a lovely sound that my mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day to travel 100 miles or more. What's a sound on a sound sure I never saw before. And as I went home on Tuesday night, drunk as drunk could be, I saw a coat behind the door where my old coat should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me who owns that coat behind the door where my old coat should be? Are you junkie, silly old fool, still you cannot see? That's a woolen blanket that my mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day of travel 100 miles or more, but buttons on the blanket too I never saw before. And as I went home on Wednesday night, drunk as drunk could be, I saw a pipe upon the chair where my old pipe should be. When I called my wife and I said to her, would you kindly tell to me who owns the pipe upon the chair where my old pipe should be? Are you junkie, silly old fool, still you cannot see? That's a lovely whistle that my mother sent to me. Well,
That song's about a guy getting cheated on.
Yes, it is. Oh, I'd never heard the song before this album, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely loved it.
I've listened to this quite a few times now since I discovered it. The album actually came out in December, so I mean it's not that old. We just waited until St. Patrick's Day to listen to it, but I discovered it. I think I figured we were going to do this back in January, and I remember like driving Jonas to his parkour class and everything. Yeah, there's a parkour class out there. Many of them.
Wow, my son would love that.
Yeah. Google Ninja School in Ohio. You'll find one.
Oh, wow.
In any case, I remember like playing that in the car, and I'm like, "This is fantastic." We were talking about this last week on with the Day to Remember show about how so much of what we listen to is just angry and hard and heavy, and it's fun to just listen to things that make you bop in your seat.
Yeah. So let's take a pause for the cause here real quick, and I will tell you, I will ask you, okay? I want you to put yourself in a situation, all right?
Okay. Am I drunk?
You are drunk, and you are a sailor, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are in
two
fact
things I aspire to be.
a drunken sailor. Okay, so here you go. These are the things that are, you tell me what's going to make you sober, sir. Because the question is, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? Shall we put him in a boat? Shall we put him in a longboat until he's sober? Okay, we could do that. We could take him and shake him and try to wake him. All right.
That doesn't work well for babies. I don't think you should do it to anybody.
No, not with a drunk person. And
No.
the last thing you need is a puke, situation. Throw him in a hole with the captain's daughter. No,
that's going to end in drunken babies.
Here's my favorite. and I think there's a little bit of a tweak on this lyric because I looked at the original, but shave his balls with a rusty razor.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm awake. I will sober right up. Put him in a hole with an angry weasel.
Well, do you have an angry weasel lying about?
I picture the weasels that attacked Weird Al Yankovic in that one song. Give him a dose of salty water and pull out the plug and wet him all over. And that's what we do with a drunken sailor. So there you go, Mark Radulich. I'm going to go.
If you ask my wife, she'll tell you the answer to all those questions was throw him in a tub of water.
Oh, really? So water is involved, sobers you right up. You have apparently suffered this at some point. Then.
I was not there. I did not know her at the time, but she early on when we were dating, before we got married, she told me a story about how she got drunk. I think for her 18th birthday, or she got drunk for some such monumental occasion in a woman's life, and she got piss drunk, and they put her in a tub and they tried to give her water, and she kept spitting it back at people. My wife puts the ass in class.
So, Mark, can you whistle?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't know. I mean, well, you don't have to prove it. I'll take your word for it. But I noticed that I cannot stop myself from whistling throughout a lot of these songs.
I've been known to be bopping around work going, "What can you do, drunken sailor?"
Oh yeah. I have a whistling fetish when it comes to Irish folk songs. Ooh. Apparently, because that's all I did.
All right. We're going to play the last two songs here. When we come back, do you think you might have... this might be a hard one to find, but you think you got some reviews? Some reviews by Grammarly?
I'm sure I can find something.
All right. So let's go ahead and listen to our last two tracks. And then I think we're going to... Jesse, I think we're going to call an audible here, because I don't feel like we've heard enough Fiddler's Green tonight. So we're going to hear our last two songs from the album, and then I think we might have to do the post-review medley.
Okay.
All right, like we've done these before, where I just play a block of someone's songs. I think we might have to do that.
All right, I'm down for celebrating, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, so here we go. Molly Malone and Green Sleeves.
In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me off discourteously, and I have loved you oh so long, delighting in your company. Your vows you've broken like my heart. Oh, why did you so enrapture me? Now I remain in a world apart, but my heart it remains in captivity. Green sleeves was all my joy. Green sleeves was my delight. Green sleeves was my heart of gold. And who but my lady Green Sleeves?
You know, overall, I really like the album. It's a fun listen. It's a fun, experience, especially on St. Patrick's Day. God, they just released a single for Old Lang Syne. How funny is that?
That's crazy.
Seems like it's a little after the fact, but
Yeah, well, what are you going to do, I guess?
but yeah, I mean, I think when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. And, they're paying tribute to the actual songs, and not all the songs lend themselves to, going balls to the wall. So I think it is what it is. I wish it had been a little bit heavier, but overall, I thought it was fun.
Yeah. I can tell you my personal experience. I listened to this album probably 5 or 6 times today and whistled all the way through. I will tell you that I did find some reviews, and I actually had to use Google Translate on, I think, all 3 of them.
Well, hang on. Let me, before we get to the reviews, when Jesse does his review segment, that's obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Brought to you by Grammarly. For you listeners of the Metal Hammer of Doom podcast, brought to you by the Rattle Engine Broadcasting Network, a affiliate of the W2M network, Grammarly is offering a free download of the Grammarly software. Grammarly's AI-powered products help people communicate more effectively. Grammarly helps you write mistake-free in any language on Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and nearly anywhere else you write on the web. Grammarly corrects hundreds of grammar, punctuation, and spelling mistakes while also catching contextual errors, improving your vocabulary, and suggesting style improvements. So go to getgrammarly.com/W2M network. Again, that's getgrammarly.com/W2M network to download Grammarly for free. All right, man, hit me with those sweet, sweet reviews.
All right, well, let's talk about the one coming from folk-metal.nl. Says, there's nothing I can say about these songs that hasn't already been said. Each one is a standard and well-loved everywhere. These are, for the most part, faithful to the originals, but played so well that electric sparks should shoot out of your speakers. That'd be pretty scary. AEW all of a sudden just showed up at your house.
Happy New Year!
An Old Lang Syne. I wish the crowd would have bust into that.
Yes, as fucking Eddie Kingston is protecting John Moxley from Chinese sparklers. If the crowd had broken into a raucous chorus of Old Lang Syne, I'd be done. I'd be like, that's it. It's not getting any better than this. Mick Foley can throw himself off whatever he wants. The people can set themselves on fire. It's not getting better than that.
Oh, wow. That would have been great. They say the playing is spot on. The vocals are sparkling and crisp. Play on high volume and enjoy. I agree. Yep. Monkeypress.de. They say, ultimately, listeners who otherwise don't listen to Irish folk and related things will immediately hum along some melodies on 3 Cheers for 30 Years. Agreed. As Fiddler's Green mainly picked ballads and traditionals that one has probably come across at many different points in life, are whether in the original, in a volume of poetry, or in a German version. Many a genre friend would probably... I'm going to say that again. Many a genre friend, by the way, I translated this through Google. Many a genre friend would probably have wished for more risk when choosing a song, but this release is pure fun. And there is, let me see, this is from powermetal.de. There's no better way to celebrate such an anniversary with 3 cheers for 30 years. So let's raise our pint glass with a triple cheer to Fiddler's Green, to many years of Irish Speedfolk from Erlangen. Now, they listed on that website. So, folks, if you get a chance, go to powermetal.de and check out the Fiddler's Green review. They listed everybody that showed up on this album. There are a lot of guests.
I think Snoop Dogg was on this.
He may be buried in there somewhere. I could have swore I heard him. Maybe he's just smoking in the back of the pub while they're, but you may pick that up. But anyway, yeah, a lot of bands contributed some, at least help out with some of these songs. So check that out if you get a chance. By the way, Greensleeves, listen, if that's coming from a traditional folk song, Metallica owes them money. Okay.
Yeah, there was a little bit of Nothing Else Matters in there.
I could not resist starting to sing that song right at the beginning. But anyway, a lot of fun, had a good time. This is, like I said, great, raucous. Just pump it for your St. Patty's Day. So I'm glad you brought this one up. Now are we meddling some more?
Yeah, man. So I've got up a list here of the most downloaded songs from Fiddler's Green, which is just the first one here is just under 9 million. Then it drops to just under 3 million. There's one that's about 6 million, 3.4, 1.8, 1.6, 2.3, 1.5. So we're not going to obviously we're not going to play the two on here that are from what we just listened to. Which is Holloway Joe and the Galloway Girl, oddly enough. But the remaining 8, let's give these a whirl. They come from a couple different albums. They come from Heyday, which came out in 2019, Devil's Dozen, 25 Blarney Roses, Winners and Boozers. So there's some fun ones on here.
I'm ready, man. Let's hear it.
All right, so here is the 8 most listened to songs from Fiddler's Green that we could find for your listening pleasure. Here we go.
Loaded, drunk and ain't been sober yet. As long as the bottle was passed around, the man was feeling gay. Oh, lyric and the bagpipes, some music for to play. That's how they showed their respect for Paddy Duffy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame, they winked at one another. Everything the bass was all the night that Paddy died. As Mrs. Murphy stood in the corner, putting out her grief. Kelly and his gang came tearing down the street. They went into an empty room on a bottle of whiskey store. Kept that bottle with the corpse to keep that whiskey cold. That's how they showed their respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how they showed the honor and the pride. They said it was a sin and shame, they winked at one another. Everything the bass was sold the night that Murphy died. In the merry months of June, from me home I started, left the girls of Doom to nearly broken hearted, deluded father dear. Kissed me darling mother drank a pint of beer, me grief and tears was smothered enough to reap the corn. Leave where I was born, got a stout big thorn to banish ghosts and goblin, a brand new pair of broads, rattling over the bogs, fighting all the dogs upon the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the here and turn, head down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, a whack for Lalia. In Mullingar that night, rested limbs so weary, started by daylight, next morning bright and early, took a drop of the pure, keep me hard from singing, that's the Paddy's cure, whenever he's up for drinking, to see the lassie smile, laughing all the while, at me curious style, was set your heart a bubble, and they asked if I was hired, wages are required, I was almost tired of the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt to here and turn, head down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, I went for Lalia. In Dublin next arrived, thought it's such a pity to be so soon deprived of view of my city, so then I took a stroll, all among the quality bundle, it was stolen in and need apology. When I looked behind, something crossed my mind, a bundle could I find, a bad mistake, a wobbling inquiring for the rope, said me Conrad broke, wasn't much in vogue upon the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3.
Buenos dias, vaya con Dios. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere, and I wish you a lovely morning. I'm gonna drag you all to hell. Hasta la vista, mi señorita. Adios, adios, adios. So my crazy little house in Puerto Rico. You can't be sure we'll go down well. We're going down, down, all the way down. We're heading deeper down. We're time to round and round. We're going down, 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 down. Well, hey, the very better time to come along. You're dead and gone. But the inside of the ground, he gets the world. It's out of sound. It's out of sound.
As I walked out the bright May morn to take a pleasant walk, I sit down on an old stone wall to hear two lovers talk, to hear what they might say, my friend, hear what they might say, so I might learn a little about love before I go away. Don't sit down beside me, said no, now or any time. Here you have another lad, your heart's no longer mine. Your heart's no longer mine, he said. Your heart's no longer mine. Here you have another lad, your heart's no longer mine. B stands for Penny, I suppose. J for my love, John. W stands for the false Leo, and Johnny's the fairest man. Johnny's the fairest man, he said. Johnny's the fairest man. And I don't care what anybody says, Johnny's the fairest man. The more I get, the more I give, the more I sleep, the more I snore, the more I drink, the more I sway. Till it rocks a liquor store. The more I run, the more I'm done, the more I sing, the more I swing. The more I eat, the more I'm full. I hate those chicken wings. The more the better, that's our aim, and we are gonna reach it. We set the sail, we're on the way, and finally we'll reach it. The more, the merrier. The more I come, the more I'm here, the more I see, the more I squint against the glowing sun, my dear. The more I catch, the more I got, the more I dive, the more I'm wet. The more I drive, the more I'm gone, the trip you won't regret. The more the better, that's our aim, and we're all gonna reach it.
We moved around, counting the girls go by. We wasted the time and let the sunshine. The days we hung out with friends, and so we dirtied our face, but now we rise up again. These days we reach the top of the stage, facing the good times, and we follow the road. Get on a hook, line, boys, we fiddle around. Forever sticking it out, together we sing along. We sing along. Oh, we sing along. Folks not dead, so rise up higher. Folks not dead, and we take off now. Folks not dead, let's get our skates on. Folks not dead, folks singing louder.
Do you hear what I'm trying to fucking tell you, Jesse Starcher? Folks not dead.
That's right. That is right.
That's tough. Wow, where have these guys been my whole life?
I know, dude. We need to keep them on our radar.
That's going in the rotation.
There's a lot of good stuff that I just heard.
Yeah.
I
wow.
think that I'd like to know. Well, okay. So we had this one, 3 Cheers for 30 Years. I'm taking
So
a look
here-
to see when the last. Well, 2019.
Here,
so.
let's go through the list here. So Victor and His Demon started us off, and that was from 25 Blarney Roses. Yeah.
Blarney.
Blarney. And then we had One Fine Day from, what was the name of this one? Heyday. And then we had The Night Pat Murphy Died.
That sounded fun.
Oh, that was so good. That one was from, it came out a while ago. That one's from Drive Me Mad from 2007. And then we had Rocky Road to Dublin, back to 25 Blarney Roses. Down from... That was good. That Down one was, like, nice.
Yeah.
That was from Devil's Dozen from 2016. Yeah, Peace Ends for Patty. And that's from... Let's see here. Oh, Wall of Folk, which sounds fantastic. That came out in 2011. Yeah. That Folk's Not Dead song that I played at the end is like on like half a dozen of their albums, by the way. Like, it just keeps reappearing.
Strange.
And then The More the Merrier. That came from Winners and Boozers from 2013.
All right.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, keep them on the radar. If they drop anything here, I know last time it was 2019 when they dropped an album, so maybe, well, not counting.
Well, it was 2020 when they did 3 Cheers for 30 Years.
They did that, yeah.
And then in 2020, they also released a live album called Acoustic Pub Crawl 2, live in Hamburg. And then they released Heyday in 2019. Devil's Dozen in 2016, 25 Blarney Roses live in Cologne 2015, and then 25 Blarney Roses 2015.
They're turning out a pretty good clip still.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they're pretty prolific.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got 17 albums here. Acoustic Pub Crawl 2012. This fucking sounds amazing.
So I think we could probably count on something probably within the next year. I would assume, hopefully from these guys. So I'm down, man. They show up again. We need to cover them.
Yeah, we don't have to wait for St. Patrick's Day. We'll just do it whenever.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. There's an album from 2003 called New Folk, spelled N-U. Oh my God! Wait a minute! Hang on! Can you just bear with me for just 1 second?
Oh, if they cover something on that album,
It's fucking
that should be great.
fantastic. All right, here we go.
Didn't know how to card a maid. Turn their backs and hide their faces. Side of a pretty girl maid, I'm afraid. 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 Johnson boys, they went a courting. Coon Creek girls so pretty and sweet. They couldn't make no conversation. Didn't know where to put their feet. 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 Johnson boys, they went a-hunting, took 2 dogs and went astray, tore their clothes and scratched their faces, didn't come back till the break of day, 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 didn't come back till the break of day. Right near the Chevrolet, they came home broke and a-walking, had no money for to pay their way, 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 had no money for... A long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Love me, then show me how you smile. Love is like a riddle, we're looking for the key. Come on, you little bastard, lean on me. Sometimes I feel like running from your tainted kiss, cause when I'm not beside of you, your kisses I won't miss. So tell me what you want of me, I see you from afar. Anything is better than a northern star. Shut up and dance, come take your chance on me.
Shut up and dance.
Shut up and dance.
That first one I played because it was Johnson Boy / Cotton Eye Joe.
I saw that. Yeah. Grabbed your attention. I thought they were going to just pull a swerve and not even go into it. I was like, oh, man. How are you going to call something Cotton Eye Joe and then not play Cotton Eye Joe?
And then the one I played in the middle there was New Chicks, but it's like 5 minutes, and apparently it's all instrumental. So I thought it was going to break it like Limp Bizkit or something.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've made our point. This was a lot of fun. This is going in the rotation. We will come back to these guys the next time they do an album for sure. And I may have to do some more exploring of their catalog and those that are related to them because, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that is just like this that's out there. So,
well, I, for one, can say 3 cheers for 30 years.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, man. That's the end of our St. Patrick's Day spectacular, and it was spectacular.
I agree. I'm going to drink myself some type of alcoholic beverage because I am Irish, and I can do that.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, Jesse's Drunken podcast will be Unspoken Issues, Transformers number 80 with Dean Compton, who has come out of the Witness Protection Program to join him.
Yes.
Yesterday, myself and Robert Winfrey reviewed The Irishman because there's a theme. Get it? And then on Monday, this past Monday, we started up St. Patrick's Day week here on the Rattledge Broadcasting Network. Christiane and I talked Grim Fairy Tales, the St. Patrick's Day special from 2013. Last week we did comic strip Extraction based on the graphic novel Ciudad. We reviewed Ray and the Last Dragon. Jesse and I reviewed A Day to Remember. You're welcome. Myself and Alexis Haina reviewed SpongeBob, Sponge on the Run. So that's all in the archives for you. If you're wondering, all right, this has been fine and all, but are you guys ever going to review a metal album ever again? Maybe. Next week is... Let me get loose for this.
Get loose.
Get loose. Let me stretch. Rob Zombie.
Oh, here we go.
The Lunar Ejection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear he's doing a Munsters movie?
No. Okay. Yeah, I should have immediately said no. And because here's the problem. The reason why it took me so long to reply is because it had to run through my head like what that's going to be like.
So
that is
according
going to be insane.
According to MovieWeb, which, take it with a grain of salt, rumor is Rob Zombie will write and direct The Munsters, a new movie based on the classic sitcom with Sherry Moon Zombie playing Lily.
Okay.
Yeah. So good for him.
Okay. Hopefully, I hope he does a cover of the Munsters song on his album.
With a lot of yeahs. Yeah. 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 So we'll be doing the Rob Zombie album next week, followed by we'll be ending the month with Tomahawk Tonic Immobility. So that's what we got going on here on the Metal Hammer of Doom. Jesse, you got anything coming up in the next couple of weeks?
No, I think we have an episode scheduled of the syndicated source material, which will be, we're doing a leap ahead to the 69th episode, where we're going to be discussing oh my goodness, Mark, help me out.
Invincible, Volume 1.
That's right, Invincible Volume 1. So that's...
We're launching that on Friday the 26th because that's when the Amazon show debuts.
That's right. Keep an eye out for that. I am excited to hear what you think about that book. Are you going to read Volume 1 before you hit Volume 2, or are you just going to listen to my podcast?
No. That's what I did with the boys. I got myself caught up to where we were going to cover it when I took it over.
I will tell you, sir, that I was really wrapped up in that book, and I want to know what your thoughts are. So when you do read it, I can't wait to listen to the podcast, but I know I'll be talking to you offline. All
right, folks. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber for fuck's sake. It's really not that hard. Or just walk. Either way. Be more so than ever before. I hope you have a great holiday. I hope everyone remains safe. Be well. Be safe and behave.